Welcome to the Knitting Spring Podcast, Episode 2. My name is Tonya, and you can find me as Cheeky Monkey on Ravelry, Cheeky Monkey1 on Instagram, and all the show notes can be found at knittingspring.com. I'm going to start out today with another FO. This is one from this summer. It's another sweater. This one is the Sock Yarn Sweater by Hannah Fettig. The yarn is Hedgehog Fibers, Pheasant, and it's their sock yarn. I think it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. I can't remember. I'll put that in the show notes. But it is an absolutely lovely sweater. It is so soft and so squishy. It is like, it's better than a sweatshirt. I can't tell you how great this is to wear. And you can see where I didn't alternate skeins, but that's okay. I still love it. I would wear it every day. It's just such a great, comfortable sweater, and I can't get enough of it. I know the one I said last week is my favorite by design. I really liked knitting it. I like how it wears. I like the scoop neck, but for comfort, I really, really, really like this one. And it's just got a ribbed collar, ribbed sleeves. I think it's just a 1x1 rib. And I used the sewn bind off by Elizabeth Zimmerman. It's my favorite bind off for stretchy knitting. And it just, for me, it doesn't give away the edge. It just, everything finishes nicely. I do my socks that way. I've done all my sweater edges that way. And it just really, really works out well for me. This is the pattern. Sock Yarn Sweater by Hannah Fettig. I know it's available on Ravelry. I have a hard copy. When I was first looking for a sweater, I really couldn't find what I was looking for on Ravelry, so I went over to Nitty City and went through their pattern stash and just found this sweater, and it just worked out great. You can see on this one that it's a long sleeve, but I made mine short sleeve. I really just wanted some t-shirts. One of the things that got me into sewing, and I have a few things about that later, but one of the things that got me into sewing was I really wanted a bunch of cashmere t-shirts. I haven't gotten there because my sewing skills aren't that great yet. I consider myself a novice beginner, and I'm having trouble with the set-in sleeves, so I really need to take a class and learn how to set in the sleeves properly. The dress I have that I've started is okay, but you can see some, it's not ruching, but it's sort of puckering where the sleeve joins, and it's sort of pleating, and I don't like that. I really want a nice, if I'm going to make my own clothes and spend all that time, I really want it to look professional. Otherwise, there's just no point in me doing it. But that's what got me interested into sewing, is I wanted to make all these cashmere t-shirts. And this isn't cashmere, but it really feels like it. It is so incredibly soft. I just can't say that enough, because I wore this the other day and I wanted to sleep in it. It was so soft. All right, so I don't have a lot of whips this week. I've been really busy. It's been a busy, busy week. One, starting a podcast and learning how to edit and doing all those things really eats into your knitting time. But I have a few things. The first thing is my second Cozy Memories blanket or sock yarn blanket. This one really is a sock yarn blanket. It is all fingering weight yarns, and you can see I just started this a couple weeks ago. And this first square is Madeline Tosh Pop Rocks. This one here is Sleep Season Sand Dollar. This one is the sweater I just showed you, Hedgehog Fibers Pheasant. This one here is Miss Babs Tart Coffee Break. And this one, I just did this week, is, I think it's a Thing for String Monet color. And the little square is a Koigu square. My squares are a little bit bigger than on my worsted weight blanket. It is 32 stitches, so a total of casting on of 64. So that's a little bit bigger than what other people are doing. I just have usually a lot of sock yarn or fingering weight yarn left over for my different projects, so I figured I'd make it a little bit bigger. And this one's my favorite one so far. I love when you get the little two tones of color and you get that little sort of square. I just love that when that happens. So this was actually given to me by Kristen from the Yargasm podcast, and I saw her knitting with this, and when I saw it in my package, and I'll talk about more of that later, I had to cast on that night. I did this soon the night that I got the package. I was so excited. I loved her knitting up the socks in this, and the socks really did look like a Monet painting. They were absolutely beautiful. My second whip is what you saw last week. I got a little bit further. This is where I was when I podcasted last week. This is difficult. You can see I got a little bit of work done this week on it, and I'm getting ready to join for the sleeves. So I'm right at the point where I'm going to join for the sleeves. And this is going to be, I think, like, it's not quite as soft, but I think it's going to have the nice, you really don't talk about drape in a sweater, but it's going to lay really nicely when this is knitted up. I really think it's going to lay like the sweater I just showed you for my FO, the Hedgehog Pheasant sweater. The yarn is knitting up beautifully. It's this tonal silvery gray, and I have a lot to go, but I did look up how to pronounce the yarn. It is Fido. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Fido design and fiber, and I really like her yarn a lot. And it's the Dire Wolf colorway. It's just, it's really knitting up beautifully. And I'm using US size 8s right now on this, and I used US size 7s for the turtleneck part. And this is in my Fawn and the Fox bag. Really great. I'm really enjoying using it. And like I said last week, it fits a whole lot in here. So I'm really happy with that. My second whip is my socks. I didn't get as far on these as I thought I would either this week. This is also living in my Freckled Whimsy bag. It's got these really cute giraffes and these tonal blues. Just beautiful. I never really thought of myself as a blue person, and the inside is like a spotted giraffe pattern. And like I said, this is sort of a combination of designs. I'm using the round toe up heel, toe up, oh my god, yeah, toe up, Turkish cast on, and I knit my socks on 2 circulars, US ones, and this is in the Miss Babs Hot Shot Unbelievable. I tried to gather all of my tags this week, and let's see if I can get that. You can kind of see it. It's 3-ply fingering yarn, 80% superwash merino, and 20% nylon, 400 yards. I really get, so many people just love this colorway, and I do too. It's just really knitting up beautifully. It's got these like denim blues with some teal blues in there, olives, some cream, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm going to start increasing for the heel. So hopefully these will be an FO next week. And that is all I have for whips. I didn't get any work done on the jellyfish sweater, the iridium sweater. It's still the little neck piece that I showed you last week. And like I said, I just was starting a podcast and work and life, and I had a friend in town this week. There was just very little time to knit. But I did get a few acquisitions. I joined the Hedgehog Fiber Twist Yarn Club, and I got this in. And I was really happy with this month's selection. I just love all these colors, and I don't have anything that's sort of white like this, or maybe it's sort of like the cream base color of the yarn. It looks really white on screen, but it's not that bright white in person. But it doesn't say what color on here. But it's blue face Leicester wool, 10% nylon, 80% blue face Leicester wool. And it just says, oh, here we go. The color is Spree. And I'm really looking forward to getting my next one next month. I just signed up for 3 months, but I definitely think I'm going to sign up for another 3 months. I really have liked using their yarn. And then I know I got a bunch of yarn from Kristen's Trunk Show, and I'm trying to stay away from updates until Rhinebeck, because I just think that's going to be a palooza. But I saw this. This is a one-of-a-kind, and I had to get it. It's totally my colors, and this is Woolen Vine Yarns. It's on her Halo Alpaca base, and it's Sweet Dreams. It is 60% superwash merino, 20% superfine alpaca, and 20% nylon, 437 yards. This is not going to be socks for sure. I'm thinking some sort of special shawl to use with this, but I don't have any plans. I just saw the one skein on there and I grabbed it. And then she put on a little unicorn stitch marker, which is super cute. And then my other things that I got when I was at the Woolen Vine Trunk Show, Gauge Intention. Sorry, my voice is just groggy today. I got, I brought some minis for Kristen. And when I ordered this yarn, she put in some minis for me, which I was so excited about. I couldn't believe, well, I mean, I can. She's really nice, but I was so surprised, and I wasn't expecting, I was just expecting my yarn, and she threw in some minis. So one of them was the thing for string that I showed you that's on my sock yarn blanket, and then she also sent Lanai Yarns Across the Universe, which I saw her knit a pair of socks out of these as well, and I love them. Every single thing in here I'm so excited about. This is Woolen Vine Yarns Sea Lab. She also sent Jinx Yarns Grainbow. And Three Irish Girls Bryn. And they are just, I can't wait to put these in. You'll probably see these being added in, at least 1 or 2 by next week for sure, because I'm really, really happy with them. Thank you so much, Kristen. I really was so surprised by that. And then also, she put in, I think she put in 8 packs or 6 packs of tea, and 3 are at work, and I drank 2 of those already, and I have 1 more to drink. And then she sent Perfect Peach. I don't know if you can see that. Perfect Peach. Sunny Orange Ginger. And I had this at work, and it was delicious. And Wild Raspberry Hibiscus. And I've never had any of these. So the orange ginger I just absolutely loved. That was really good. And then I'm looking forward to drinking these. I just haven't really been home to do that. I had a few hours to knit on Saturday while I was waiting for my friend to do a few things around town and then meet up with him. I got some fabric this week. I want to make some project bags for myself. I I'm going to still buy project bags from other people, but I don't have a lot of time to sew lately. Oh, I think I'm shaking the camera. Sorry. I decided to do some project bags because that's something I can do in an afternoon and have a finished project and keep up my sewing skills and keep using my sewing machine. I have a Janome 500 Sewist. I really like that. It was the machine that they used at, it's called the Sewing Studio here in Manhattan, and that's the machine they had for us to learn on. And I figured that would, and I really liked the machine. It had a lot of things. It's a mechanical machine, and it even has an option for you to use stretch stitches. I messed around a little bit with some knit fabric, and it works. None of the seams are popping. I'm not making a bathing suit, so it'll work fine. I really like knitted fabrics. Well, I like knitting, but I like to wear knitted fabrics as well. A lot of my dresses are knit or jersey material. But this is the pattern I'm going to be, that I've used. This is the pattern I used for the bag I made for Kristen. And this was the pattern that the Knitmore girls referred to when they made their project bags. Last Christmas or the Christmas before. I can't remember which one. I've listened to some of their back episodes, and I'm getting the years confused. But I've got this fabric, which my niece will love. She loves Halloween. So I've got this and more blue. Who would know? This pretty fabric. And this one I really love. There's something about the stripes. It's just really pretty. And I think these two are going to be, this will be the contrasting fabric to this, even though they're the same hue. And then I found this polka dot, and it gets less polka dotty as it goes up. So it starts off pretty clustered at the bottom, and then it gets less as it goes up. It's really beautiful. It's these gold dots on it. And this one is my favorite, absolute favorite that I got. And it's these doily spider webs. And I don't know if you can see, but there's little silver spiders on here. And I'm not a yellow person either, but I just love this fabric. I just love the delicacy and all the webs and just the little tiny spider on there. I didn't see it when I bought it, but when I got it, I saw those on there, and I thought it was just great. And then this is going to be a contrast to another fabric I have. And then these next two will be together. These are Amy Butler fabrics. And this is sort of in my wheelhouse of colors. And those two, these last two will go together. And then I just bought a yard of each of these, but I think I might go back and buy more of this fabric and do something with it. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I just really like it. And then this is sort of sewing patterns. And I have a pink fabric that has all these like dress forms on it. And I thought this would be a nice lining to that. And I think that's it for acquisitions and my knitting. I mean, it looks like a lot of fabric, but it wasn't too bad. I got it from Hawthorne Threads. Their website has such beautiful fabric. There's 4 places that I go to buy fabric. For mainly garment sewing, I go to Mood and B&J Fabric. They both have a website, and you can order from them. And I've tried other less expensive fabric stores in the city, and they just didn't have the quality or the patterns I was looking for. And then there's another one called Perone in the city that has really great quality fabrics. And then I've used fabric.com and Hawthorne Threads. But there's a woman who wrote a blog, and I'll put it in the show notes, but she gave a list of like 30 places to buy fabric online. It's a great resource, and I haven't tried all those out yet. And then something that I really have been enjoying lately is, I don't know how many people have heard of this, but it's called Blue Apron. And what you do is you sign up for 3 meals a week, and they deliver all the ingredients to you. I signed up for the 2-person plan, and there's a family plan. I know there's at least 4 people that it feeds, but I don't know if it goes up more than that. I just know about the 2-person plan. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and they really enjoyed it, and they said, give it a try. And I was like, okay. I haven't really been cooking that much lately, even though I really do enjoy cooking. I grew up cooking with my mother and my grandmother, and we spent many holidays and evenings and Sundays in the kitchen, and it's something that relaxes me and sort of feeds my creative juices. And so this week I got shrimp saffron sandwiches, and they're so easy. It's a really great program. Everything is fresh, organic, no steroids, no hormones in the meat products. They have a vegetarian option if you're a vegetarian. And I have no way affiliated with Blue Apron. I don't work with it. It's just something I've really been enjoying, and their food is really good. I had one dud, and it was just because the sauce wasn't powerful enough for the noodles, if that makes sense. The noodles overpowered the sauce, so you didn't get the Italian marinara sauce that they were going for. But other than that, I've been doing it for 3 weeks, and I really enjoy it, and it's been one of my favorite things, and for me, it's enough food for the week, so you should check it out. Even if you're a beginner cook, or if you want to learn to cook, or you don't have a lot of time, it takes about 30 minutes to prep and cook everything around that. You know, some things take a little bit more time, but, you know, 1 pot, 1 skillet, and cleanup's a breeze, but I really have been enjoying that. That's something that I really like a lot. And the other thing that I really enjoyed this last week is on Netflix, there's a series called Narcos. This is probably not for everybody, but it's a really well done and worth watching show. It's about the Medellin drug cartel in Colombia, and this first season, it takes place in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's told from the point of view of the DEA agent who goes down to capture or investigate, what's his name, Pedro Escobar? I know I'm messing that up. I can't believe I can't remember his name, but he was all over the news back in the late 80s, early 90s. And the main character Pablo Escobar is the head of the Medellin drug cartel. And he's played by a well-known Brazilian actor. And then they had all these crews from around the world that sort of collaborated and put this together. And it was so well done. Just to note that there is a lot of violence, a lot of sexual activity in there, but it's not gratuitous at all. It's telling the story of how these people lived and just their lack of empathy for the people around them and how they used them. It was so well done, very well done. I highly recommend that series, and it's been picked up for a 2nd season, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that. And what got me to watch it is that it was based on these real events. It's not a documentary, but it's based on these events that happened in Colombia, and it's really good, very, very good. So I think that is it for me this week. Like I said, I've been busy. Sorry, I'm looking down to make sure I didn't forget anything. And it's been another nice week. I know this is sort of quick, but hopefully I'll have some FOs next week and more progress on my knitting. And I'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.